Welcome back, my peeps, to another episode of Azrael Reacts. I'm your boy Azrael, and today we coming back at y'all with the mystery and unknown. Like I said, there's a lot going on. Nah, for real. I had to go look into some of this, man. Some of the stuff that I'm bringing today is crazy. Parallel universes, you know, they got some UFOs talking about other worlds and stuff. You know, other sides of the earth that people haven't even seen before. Like, man, we opening a can of worms today with this one. That's all that I'm gonna say. And to be 100% real with y'all, I'm glad that more people are starting to talk about this type of stuff, because coming up in high school and people telling me that I was crazy because I had the boss to actually look into this type of shit and want to learn and not be dumbfounded and just believe whatever the fucking government tells me. I was crazy. I was the conspiracy theory. But now, a lot of those friends, or old friends, have reached out to be like, wow, I can't believe that you was right. Considering that, you know, Orange Face released that aliens are real, which, you know, still takes me by shock. But if y'all want to release the truth, release the truth. It needs to be out there for the people to know. But hey, I've talked enough. So, if you like this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe for it, brother, because you know it really helps me out. And let's go ahead and get into this video.
What was Justin trying to tell us? Hashtag yummy.
Here's what I want to ask. Yummy. What does that mean exactly?
My sex life.
Okay. That's what I thought it was.
My sex life. My sex life. My sex life.
Do you know who Monica Lewinsky is? Listen to this poem that she wrote John F. Kennedy Jr. when she was 9.
And I know I'm going to rot in hell eternally for this, but the poem is a poignant rumination on how, quote, I can be a delicious lunch, dinner, or breakfast if you're weird. She goes on to describe herself, quote, as a round and flat piece of dough with lots of topping. I am a mouth's best friend. I make you say, yum, 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 yum.
Could that be the origins to the pizza talk?
They'll name 3 names for your lady parts.
Mini Moo, a JJ, and a pizza.
Pizza.
Because I have this crazy idea that I will order pizza.
Pizza.
And so if I do, I don't want it to go to waste. Who will eat pizza if I... Jennifer, yes? Pizza's here. Cheese, that's a cheese. Yeah. Where's Harvey Weinstein? Harvey.
If you know, you know.
My favorite conspiracy theory by far is the conspiracy theory that there is no conspiracy theories. Like, why the fuck do everybody believe everything is a conspiracy theory? People thought it was a conspiracy theory when only a small amount of companies owned every single brand you could possibly imagine. That turned out to be real. People thought it was a conspiracy theory when they thought there was only a small amount of people who owned every single television network. That turned out to be real. Even cryptids. There's so many cryptids that have been proven to be real that before were considered fake. For the longest time, a lot of people thought dinosaurs weren't real, and those were proven to be real. But then there's another side to it. A dinosaur could also be considered a dragon. We act like the government ain't never lied to us before. All they gotta do is shave off the horns and take away the wings, and boom, you got a dinosaur. They look exactly the same. And no, all dragons don't have to fly. All dragons don't have to breathe fire. There's different types of dragons. There's water dragons. There's dragons that are designed just for land, and there are dragons that fly. Same thing with dinosaurs. There's dinosaurs that fly. There's dinosaurs designed specifically just to be in water. There's dinosaurs that spit fucking acid. There's dinosaurs designed specifically just to be on land and run. You never fully know what you think you know. There's always a deeper meaning to everything you could possibly imagine. Especially when the government controls all the media and all the belief systems we come to know as the truth in life. We never truly fully know anything. That's why the conspiracy theory of there's no conspiracy theories is fucking stupid.
Boy, are they playing a game with us. It's funny how they move on to different storylines in the world. First, it was the Israel and Palestine war. Oh, that's still going on. Then, it was the Diddy trial. That's been going on. And that was supposed to be the trial of the century with all these names coming out. That hit a downward slope. And now, it became all about the immigration and ICE. That's still going on too. But because it's not in the news all day anymore, you think it's not. Then it was the fear of a civil war. Now we got Iran versus Israel. Oh, this is World War III. We better get in the bunkers. We better hide. Now, I don't give a damn about any of these topics, honestly, because I still gotta work. I still gotta pay bills. How you expect me to care?
So that conspiracy theory where people are trafficking human organs has now gotten a little deeper. So this 21-year-old former flight attendant was arrested for trafficking $3.3 million worth of a psychoactive drug containing ground human bones. Ground human bones. Let me repeat. This former 21-year-old flight attendant was arrested for trafficking $3.3 million worth of a drug containing ground human remains. She was arrested at the airport with this drug called Kush. Over 100 pounds of this drug that's only found on the black market. Take a look at this. This is the article about the stuff that she was caught with and was arrested for. Now, it's totally unclear who is purchasing this stuff. I guess maybe it's people that are tired of the stuff that they've been using, and they want something a little bit different. But this contains human bones. Now, if you go back and check out some of my videos and all the stories that have been coming out of people arrested for selling human bones, it's got to make you think, where are they going? Maybe we know now. Well, she is facing up to 25 years to life. Now, here's the question on my mind, and the question I want to ask you. How long do you think she's going to survive once they found out what she was caught for and the people that she was transporting it for? How crazy is this story? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, I'd love to hear from you.
Y'all gonna call me crazy, TikTok. But what if, now this is an if, please don't come for me because I promise I'm sending back. What if black people of America were the original Indians, but when they decided to strip us of our identity, the reason that they have the other Indians on reservations and stuff is because they keep them separated so they can't really tell the secret that they basically destiny swapped them with us. So that's why they get paid to live on reservations and stuff. They get paid for their silence, and that's why they're out on their own, got everything in their own community, just away from everybody, so they can keep the secret that black people are the original Native Americans. And I'm gonna just leave that with y'all because I don't come for me. I support everybody. I like Choctaw. Because we a part of that too. But what y'all think about that?
You were speaking about parallel universes.
Right. It's 7 of them.
How do they exist? I mean, how do we know there's parallel universes?
All right. Is that chair you sitting on solid?
Yeah.
It's an atom. That's not solid. It's 0.99999% solid, so it's not solid. It's moving, but you can't go through it yet unless you vibrate right. If you vibrate right, you'll go through that floor. You don't get it. We live in a magic world. The world's not real. When you sleep and when you awake, it's the same. But only thing when you come in this world, you get your taste. And in your other world, you don't get your taste. That's another universe too. I can control it. And you can too. When you do control it, you just don't know it yet. If you think something, and then you say something, and then you go do something, that's gonna happen. If you think I wanna be rich, then you gonna be rich if you start moving like you're rich. So it's kinda like you get to choose. That's one thing I like about life, right? Because you get to choose.
So when we dream, what is that?
You go into that dimension, right? You're supposed to bring information back from there. See, a lot of people just dream and they get up and say, I just had this dream, and they don't understand they're supposed to use that information. Because you kind of got that from God.
So what about the dreams that you can remember it vividly, but it's gone in a split second, right?
That's when it gotta get confusing. I don't know if I'm sleeping when I'm awake or when I'm sleeping when I'm awake. I kind of like don't know the difference.
The only thing that makes any sense is that when we are dreaming, we are visiting parallel versions of ourselves in parallel dimensions closest to ours where we also exist.
See, parallel universes. I'm so glad that more people is talking about this. I know. I don't normally pause my videos, and I'm telling y'all, I'm trying to stop. But parallel, man, I'm so happy that more people is talking about this now, because coming up in high school, having people look at me like I was fucking crazy because I had the balls to look into shit that they thought this just was conspiracy theories. Oh, I'm so happy, man. But let's get back to it.
That is why everything is in first person, and that is why everything makes sense in that dream until we wake up and say to ourselves, that was fucking weird. The only question that I have is, are people in other dimensions visiting us?
If you know, you know.
To show my appreciation, I am inviting you all to a pizza party tonight at Jennifer Aniston's house. I'll see you there.
My parties were so great for everybody. I would always hear like the next week, like, "Oh, Sam, man, that was incredible, man. That was the best orgy I've ever been a part of." You know.
He was just joking though, right? I wonder what they're talking about here. Body language doesn't lie.
What Aniston will say to me in the middle of the night whenever I'm with her, something cool. She'll be like, "You see?" And I'll be like, "No, you're right. This is great. This is great." And then the next morning, she'll text me and say, "I know something, Wednesday night if you want." I'll be like, "Come on, we just did that Saturday thing. We don't have to do too good."
I'm going to bed at 9. I can't come over. Your thing starts at 8:30. So
yes, she can handle it. She can handle it. And her parties are incredible at her house too.
Yeah, she does have good parties, and she makes good pizza as well.
She makes great pizza.
Wonderful pizza. All right, just y'all are all like, whatever.
How was the pizza? Was it good? Oh, did he make it himself? Pizza was better than Clutch's. They both made. Everybody made a certain kind of pizza.
There's no pizza we didn't love.
Something that he does. 5 different kinds. 5 different kinds or 6 different kinds of pizza that night. Clutch's was excellent. Amal's was the winner.
Now I wonder why she told him to shut his trap.
We've known each other for years. Yeah. You've been to my house. We've had pizza. Girl after my own heart. Do we love a pizza or what? We love a pizza. We do. It's so good. It's so much fun. Now, someone did. I was told that you recall a.
So I'm going to tell you a little something about parallel realities, and this will help you hopefully to understand how manifestation works. Okay? Every version of you already exists. Every single version of you. Let's pretend this. There's a version of you that was a FedEx driver. There's a version of you that's a billionaire. There's a version of you that is a teacher. There's a version of you that's homeless. All versions of you, all timelines, all parallel realities already exist. Which one you're on is directly linked to your thinking and your perspective. So if I view myself as unworthy, maybe I'll move to that timeline that if I keep going, I will end up as a homeless person. Maybe my mindset is I'm abundant, I'm worthy of everything. I know I can create it. Maybe you're on the timeline of being a billionaire. You jump timeline to timeline. You can't even grasp how many times you do it in a day. Every time that you have a thought, you jump to another timeline. The key to creating your life consciously is you figure out where you want to go, and then you write down all of the energies, the emotions, the thought forms, the perspective that timeline has, and then you have to hold the thoughts and the emotions of that timeline, and then you will stay on that timeline. But here's the next thing. Imagine that timeline and all of them already exist, but the only one that you're on is the one that's lit up. And the one that's lit up is the one that's getting the most thought energy. So a thought comes in, and then we think about the thought. Most of us are thinking about what we don't want. So that's the timeline that we're lighting up. That's the one that we're on. But the complete opposite energy of you having everything exists as well, but you have to send enough thinking energy through thinking, through emotions to that, and then you will start to manifest that reality. So really at the end of the day, It's about asking yourself, where am I sending my thinking? Where am I steering it? Am I thinking in line with that timeline, or am I thinking more in line with that timeline? And then the timeline that gets the most thought energy, that will be the one that manifests in your reality.
Okay, so what's up with them discovering parallel universe in Antarctica? I mean, it's like we always knew this was real. At least a large handful of us knew that parallel universe, multiverse, all that shit's real. They put it in the movie. But to have like actual physical three-dimensional real world like disclosure and proof is, I don't know, it's a different vibe. It's a different beast. It's so crazy how things align. I swear, last night I was literally rewatching a movie I've seen so many times, The Source Code with Jake Gyllenhaal. And by the end of that movie, you realize that what they said they were doing, they weren't doing at all. What they really were doing was creating a portal to access an entirely, different reality, which is just a parallel universe where different versions of them exist. But even if they made changes to those versions, it wouldn't affect them in this other version of them because they're in a different universe. Dude, it's so crazy. It's such a good movie. And then like I'm scrolling social media earlier and I see like, right after I watched this movie last night and I just see all these videos about Antarctica and there being parallel universe. I'm like, bro, I swear they put that shit right in our face, right in the movies. It's 2025. It's about to be lit. Come here for that shit.
Why is the world map different now? Like, do you remember any of these things, or am I completely alone and crazy on this? Like, do you remember South America being this far east? I remember it being pretty well aligned with North America, but that's not the case anymore. So much so that the Panama Canal now runs north to south, not east to west. Don't remember that. This one really bothers me. Does anyone else out there remember Australia being turned counterclockwise and not in this orientation? Also, what the heck is New Zealand doing over there? It was not over there. It was not southeast. It was never southeast. What is happening over here? Do you remember the southern tip of South America and this little tip of Antarctica turning to face each other instead of both pointing in the same direction? Because it doesn't do that anymore. If any of this stuff feels weird to you, can you please let me know so that I don't feel so crazy anymore? And I'm sure there will be a healthy amount of people in the comments who are like, no, it was always like that. You're just uneducated and dumb. Let's just take a moment to remember that one of the most groundbreaking scientific achievements that just happened recently attributed its success to borrowing energy from parallel universes. This is theoretical, but let's just take a moment to think outside the box that just maybe these weird false memories that so many of us are having are actually due to something far weirder and stranger than we ever thought of before.
Have you heard of the Mountain Dew conspiracy theory?
Mountain Dew? No, I haven't.
This one's fun.
Let's hear it.
Every time Mountain Dew makes a marketing push for a new drink or a new flavor that they have, it coincides with a world event that typically isn't that great.
That's terrifying. Let's hear it.
So Mountain Dew Code Red came out in 2001.
I know what event happened then.
3 months later, after it came out, 9/11 happened.
This is not good.
Maui burst. Right after they dropped that, 3 months later, the wildfires happened in Maui.
Wow, that's crazy.
Are you ready for this one?
Ready.
The Star Spangled Splash came out last year. Do you know who wrote the Star Spangled Banner?
George Washington.
Francis Scott Key. What bridge fell last year in Baltimore? The Francis Scott Key Bridge.
Oh.
Yes!
3 months after?
That's kind of like immediately after that one. Pitch black. A few years ago, we had a blackout in the IT world. July 19, 2024. Various IT systems around the world experienced an outage.
Mountain Dew dropped it and it went dark.
Yes. Another one. Tropical swirl. Crazy hurricanes that wouldn't end in Southeast America just a few months after they dropped that flavor.
They also, I just looked it up, they're dropping a mango rush flavor.
Yeah.
It might be a flood.
It literally might be.
And you can only get it at Little Caesars.
Ooh.
So where are the most Little Caesars, Zach?
Did you look that up?
No. But we saw one in Houston, Texas.
So you think there's going to be a flood in Houston, Texas?
There might be.
So here are 5 conspiracy theories that turned out to be true. Number 5, the NSA spying on the American people. In 2013, Edward Snowden revealed that the NSA had mass collections of telephone and internet data on global communications. Number 4, MK Ultra. This was the CIA's real and declassified covert program at trying to develop mind control and create sleeper agents by experimenting on real people, usually without their consent. They basically experimented on people with with drugs like LSD or tried hypnosis to see its effects on the human mind. They even tried to see if they could invent some sort of like truth serum. They also experimented with turning cats and dolphins into weapons. Number 3, the sabotage of the civil rights movement. So this has to do with the FBI's counterintelligence program, which was a series of cover and illegal actions taken by the FBI to disrupt the plight of Black Americans to gain equal rights in the U.S. This included methods like spying on activists and then leaking negative personal information. Secret agents would create racial tensions within groups to break them down from the inside, stopping organized peaceful protest by having secret agents within the groups start conflict with the police, allowing police to retaliate. Number 1 is Operation Northwood. This one's insane. This was a real proposed declassified plan by the U.S., who staged a terrorist attack on American soil to justify intervention in Cuba. It was never done, but it was still revealed decades later in declassified documents. And if they were willing to do it then, who says they wouldn't do it now?
Because I'm trying to tell y'all, people didn't know the Titanic sunk on purpose. They didn't know, and they monetized the shit. That's why I say it's so much hidden knowledge, and people caught flack when I said this, but a lot of people liked it when I said that if the regurgitated version of the Bible that they gave us today helped Black people or any people get out of their current situation, they would have never introduced it to us, which is true.
Right.
Because the Vatican has so much fucking like books, all type of architect. They have real knowledge that a lot of people ain't even ready for, but they give us this.
Right.
Anytime your enemy gives you something, it's not for your use, bro.
They gave us shackles.
That's all it is.
Wow.
And see, listen, the Bible, like I say, the Bible is what keep broke people from killing rich people.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? That's the glue. You see what I'm saying?
What?
It's a belief system, bro. Everything is built around belief systems.
Here. Look at how they shot these 2 rockets, and look what's waiting in the sky for them. It is a UFO, a UAP, whatever you want to call it, and it disarmed both of the rockets, and it takes off. What?
So UFOs are real, and they've been here a long time, and that's the truth. But the lie is coming. All indications, like all of them, is that that lie is going to be that there is a craft slowly making its way to us here on Earth. And that is the lie they're going to want you to believe. It's nuanced, how they explain that, the nature of that threat. But that 100% is the lie you are going to be told. You even got a date. People have been whispering a date for a long time now. I know where that lie comes from.
You're still alive. Why haven't you been killed? let's call it a ghost security team, if you will.
Yeah, I mean and they're very dedicated. They're on the side of wanting this to get resolved. And then there's tactical security that we have periodically.
Did the world really end in 2012? In 2012, the Mayan calendar sparked apocalyptic fears. But what if something did happen, just not in the way we expected? Some theorists propose we shifted into a parallel reality, leaving our original timeline behind. Consider the changes post-2012 Mandela effect anomalies, unexplained phenomena, and a subtle feeling that reality isn't quite right. It's as if we're living in a slightly altered version of our world. Some speculate that our known world did end, and we now exist in a simulated or alternate universe. But why don't we remember? Theories range from a seamless transition between realities to a memory-wiping global event. Rapid technological advances and unusual world events are cited as evidence that our reality has changed. Some point to CERN's Large Hadron Collider, which reached new power levels in 2012, as a potential catalyst. Could it have inadvertently altered our reality, opened a portal, or merged timelines? But let's dig deeper. Could it be that we're experiencing time differently? Many report a sense of time speeding up, with years passing by in the blink of an eye. Could this be another sign that something fundamental shifted in 2012? And what about the rise of digital consciousness? Since 2012, the internet and social media have become more intertwined with our daily lives, almost as if we're gradually moving toward a more virtual existence. Is this a coincidence or part of a grander design? Some also wonder if we're now living in a test, a reality designed to see how we respond to these subtle changes. If our world truly ended in 2012, are we now living in a sort of cosmic experiment guided by unseen forces? The implications are profound. Did 2012 mark the beginning of a new hidden era for humanity? Or is this just another wild theory? What's your take? Share your thoughts below and follow for more mind-bending theories.
The extraterrestrials have lost their patience. They've decided we're going to end this nonsense. There's been pushback, but we are moving toward disclosure without question. However, we are also moving toward nuclear war. Here is my conclusion. You're doing incursions using their devices, whatever they are, not just in one place, not in two places, not on one continent, multiple continents, and the U.S. government knows it. They know they're extraterrestrial, I can assure you. And so what you're seeing is a mix of military drones and non-human craft entities engaging in some...
Did y'all know about that? I know this is twice in one video. I know. Forgive me. But did y'all know about that? I didn't know that aliens shot down the missiles. That's crazy if that's crazy if that's true. Alright, I'm gonna stop. Let's get back to it.
Process, and that is all the government can do. And so what the ETs and their genius have done is put the United States government, the UK government in an impossible position finally. In other words, we can't tell you what they really are, though we know, but we can't stop them from doing this. And they continue to do it, and they will continue to do it, and the pressure on the government, the embarrassment for the government will become excruciating. And those people within the United States government that somehow have decided that we will never know this truth as long as they walk this face of the earth will finally just capitulate. And so this is an ET-driven intervention to get us into the post-disclosure world before we blow ourselves to hell. If we would end this truth embargo, we could stop making fools of ourselves and our government and move on with civilization.
Donald Trump just admitted he knew about the UFOs. Y'all, what the hell going on here?
Aliens exist and President Trump knows about it. That's according to Israel's former space security chief. In an interview with an Israeli newspaper, he said the aliens have been waiting until today for humanity to develop and reach a stage where we will understand in general what space and spaceships are.
And he says President Trump is aware of the existence of these aliens and had been on the verge of revealing their secrets, but was asked not to do so by the Federation in order to prevent what he calls mass hysteria.
Here.
Vegas man who claims he can summon UFOs on command. Pretty wild. So we sent Action News reporter Mike Delastrito to get the real story. But what he found shocked everyone and could leave you wondering, are UFOs real?
There's now UFOs.
That's right, there is a Las Vegas guy making an extraordinary claim about extraterrestrial. So we sent Action News reporter Mike Delastrito to check it out. Mike?
All right, guys, just listen up here. This guy says the Old Testament, written in Hebrew, taught him how to summon UFOs. Marty says he can also do this on command, and he adds he's been doing it for 25 years, keeping all of it secret until now.
He's being sitting right up there.
We met up with Prophet Yahweh, seer of Yahweh, at Doolittle Park off Lake Mead. We picked the day, we picked the time, and we picked the location. Everyone's gonna think you're absolutely nuts.
Well, I thought I was absolutely nuts.
Until he says he saw UFOs. Over the years, 1,500 of them.
Can we make it 1,501 today? What do you think? I'll try it.
He says the voice in his head told him to go public now, so we took him up on his offer, and we scanned the skies. Nothing but a few clouds. When the prophet started praying for a sighting, I wasn't exactly convinced.
I pray, oh Yahweh, that you send a sighting, so that they know that I am not mentally ill. I am not a false prophet, like those who seek to kill me say I am.
I can tell you straight up.
Oh, bro, look at there it is.
You can barely see it, a white speck. Then another sighting.
There it is. I got it.
Photojournalist Jonathan Hawkins locks in on it. Let's take a closer look here. It's an orange sphere that appeared out of nowhere. I call the boss with an unexpected change in my story. I can see it clear as day. In fact, it's bright. I can't believe it. It's moving pretty fast.
It's going to Nellis Air Force Base. It wants to be seen.
We called Nellis to see what these things might be. Guess what? They didn't call us back. But this thing started coming back toward us.
It's coming toward us now, I think.
What? See, it's coming up toward us.
Whoa, man! Oh, hallelujah!
Then, a few seconds later, it disappeared.
It's going back up to space.
Prophet Yahweh isn't concerned. He says it'll be back. And I'm still not quite sure what those things were. Now, if I didn't see this for myself, I probably would have just laughed this whole thing off. Prophet Yahweh says, though, this is just the beginning.
Thanks for watching this video. It's for entertainment only, but if you know, you know.
Had the opportunity over the years to interview, again, people who have worked at the test site at Groom Lake. One gentleman spent 12 of his 30 years in black programs at Groom Lake. When I asked him, I said, first of all, I said, do you believe in UFOs? And he looked at me with a straight face in one-on-one. He said, absolutely, positively, they do exist. I said, can you expand upon that? He said, no, I can't. About a year later, we were talking about, again, activities at Groom Lake, and I asked him, I said, you know, can you really tell me what's happening out there? And he said, well, there's a lot of things that are going on there that I won't be able to tell you until the year 2025. But we have things in the Nevada desert that would make George Lucas envy.
So NASA just came out and confirmed that there is indeed a parallel universe in Antarctica, y'all. This is crazy. So they had this balloon, right, to test for particles and stuff like that in Antarctica. Now, during this process, they noticed something that was very strange, and they said that they noticed these molecules that instead of falling were levitating. I literally have chills, y'all. I knew this was a thing. So basically they said that they believe that this means that there is a parallel universe somewhere near or on the island Antarctica, okay? And this parallel universe literally defies the laws of physics, literally defies gravity, okay? So basically, instead of a rock falling down, the rock is going to be going up. So, you know what I'm saying? When you drop something, it's going to go, it doesn't drop, it goes up. Y'all, this gives me very, 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 very strange vibes. The fact that they just came out and said that aliens are real, and now they're saying that there's a parallel universe. The U.S. government is just confirming what everybody already knew.
So I think that I died in my car accident. And this reality that I'm living is like some other alternate parallel reality. Cause it just, ever since then, stuff just don't seem normal. It just feels like off. It feels different. I feel like I died in a car accident. And I feel like, you know, there's people in that reality where I lived at that is mourning my death, that I'm dead. Like, I had a funeral and everything. There's people that's missing me. They calling on me. They're calling up to heaven. They posting Facebook statuses. And I can't see none of that shit. I can't hear none of them people. I don't know what's going on. All I know is something off right here. That's how I be feeling sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Y'all ever think about that?
Do you know this is the only map out there that's correct? It's called the Gleason map. Look at the size of the United States. Now look at the size of South America. Look at the size of fucking South America. Look at South America. Look at South America. That shit is bigger than Canada, the US, and Mexico put together. India is the same size as all of Canada. Brazil is the same size as the US. Look at Greenland, this yellow thing right here. Why have we been learning from maps where Greenland is the same size as South America? It's not. That South America is the same size as North America and Canada. It's not. South America is exponentially larger than all of North America and Mexico put together. Like, larger than that. South America is the same size as all of Europe, India, and China. I'm a little bit too stoned for this, but I feel like I've been lied to.
Crazy work. Crazy work. Yo, parallel universes, like that right there has got me like, that's real, man. Like, for real. Let's cross over. Let's see what's going on the other side, because over here on this one and this fucking reality, Trump is fucking it up. I want to go, we can cross over to a different reality. Let's go over to that motherfucker, because this one over here is all types of fucked right now. But nah, that shit with the whole aliens supposedly shooting down missiles, like, almost paused the video right there. So I'm like, yo, what? How did I not hear about this? But crazy work. Crazy work. Like I said, I'm bringing y'all the heat. I'm bringing it. I'm bringing it all. There's a video that I threw in here where she's talking about how she believes that, what if African Americans are the original indigenous? That's the video. I literally went through and found that video for you guys. That was the first video that I seen talking about the whole, what if black people are the true American Indians? That was the video that started that whole series. When I do bring that series back, I'm gonna make sure to add that one in there with a little context noting. This is the video that started it all. I didn't like it at first, but I'm glad I was able to still find it, because man, that started this whole channel for me, honestly. But let's get back to it. Conspiracy theories. I got more coming. Yeah, I got more heat coming, pretty much. That's what I wanted to say. But anyway, if you like this video, go ahead, drop a like, comment, subscribe for it, brother. Share the videos with your friends, because the more that y'all like and subscribe, the more that you engage with my videos, the better it is for me. I know it's a small click for you, but trust me, it helps me out tremendously, and I thank you guys for it. Thank you so much. But this has been another episode of Azrael Reacts. I'm your boy Azrael, and I'll catch you next time. Deuces!